Hi, it's PSO RISQUARD Huntsman. This is a 1v1 on Galician rear. I'm playing as France, and my opponent, washoleon Huntsman, is playing as Prussia. And I made a bit of a mistake there with my cav. I pushed it over a bit too far, and I was busy sorting out the line, but I managed to save it and get it out just in time. Right, I've got some units hidden in the trees there. Garda Seaman, but here you can see I've pulled it out. But I've got another 2 units of Chasseur Cheval hidden in the trees over in the background there. Got my howitzer. washoleon didn't take any artillery in this battle. Got my howitzer firing at the hill. Got men in the trees there. He's got washoleon's got a larger army than me, so I kind of had to go more defensive with this battle, and plus with his Prussian Fusiliers, are much better than my, even if I'd taken Chasseurs, they're much better than my Chasseurs anyway, so I didn't really want to get caught out in the open. And a light on light battle with them. Right, he'd left his Prussian cav over here because he didn't, as far as I'm aware, he didn't know that I had my 2 Chasseur Cheval units hidden, so I had them firing on that unit, but he's managed to get one Lancer unit in through them trees, so, and he manages to take out my howitzer with that Lancer unit. I wasted my militia there. I threw them in, and then I realised that Lancer unit was heading towards my artillery. So I turned to try and deal with that, and then I forgot about my militia, which should continue to charge in. So by the time I got back to looking at what my militia were doing, they were dead. So it was a very good battle like this, very hard, very difficult. I will point out actually that I didn't want to post this battle at first. But it's only because washoleon insisted, because I didn't save the replay of the first, because this is the second battle that me and washoleon played, and he beat me in the first one, so, but he insisted that I posted this one as well, so, but I did want to make a point of saying that he did beat me in the first one. Right, so I'm taking cav superiority really here, because I mean that's causing me a few problems, I guess. That cavalry unit behind there is taking out my howitzer, and, a bit annoying. But I'm taking out his cavalry over on the right, so I'm going to end up with cavalry superiority, but I messed that up later by clicking a wrong button click, but I'll point that out later. I'll waste a unit of cav, completely waste. Right, I've got cavalry up in them trees as well, 2 units. Right, so I'll set them 2 cavalry units up on the top of the hill. Yeah, he's moved his lights down there. He's like sending in some concentrated light infantry fire. Alright, I'm lining up to face the units on this flank. I mean, it's the only really point I can push up. I've got a strong enough army as a part of my army. Strongest part of my army is on this end, so it's the only really point I can really push up to attack. Attacking from this end, so but I had to send 1 unit of cavalry. I wish I did have 2 of them up here, but I sent 1 of my units of cavalry that was in the trees there, because that Lance unit that was behind my lines came back from routing. So I'm sending cav into his lines, he's sending cav into my lines. All getting a bit messed there, but he's managing to get fire on my old guard actually, so I mean that wasn't really good for me. Right, that Lancer unit has now been routed away by the Chasseur Cheval, so I'm trying to get them back over to the right flank, but it was a bit late. It's just become a bit too late. you know. So I mean, he's got his like another 2 cavalry units there. So I should have really pulled those 2 cavalry units on the hill over as well, but I did pull them over eventually, but I misclicked the button on the positioning where I wanted them to go, so, and I ended up losing one of them because he got shot. So he's routed my old guard there. I pulled Polish and Swiss foot back into the trees. I've selected that chasseur cheval unit that was chasing down the Lancer unit behind my lines. I've pulled that back up and I've thrown that into his army as well. So I can give, I gave that up basically so I could get retreat my Polish and my Swiss foot. Right, this is the point where I misclick and I didn't realise until I'd lost one of my chasseur cheval. Just walking him straight into the line of fire here, as you're about to see. Yeah, so I wasn't too pleased about that at the time, but it was my own stupid fault. I just misclicked on where I thought they were going, so I wanted to send them along the back of the hill out of the way of their line of fire, but there you go, that's when I realised, so I managed to sort of save that unit. Right, so I've lost the only point where I could really attack. I lost my men, so I've had to. Basically, what I'm having to do now is just pull back and defend, and just do a full defensive strategy. Managed to get some pretty good little cab attacks on his light infantry. I mean, those 2 depleted units of my Swiss and my Polish are not going to be enough to stand and hold against all those men that he's got there. So I mean, look at that. He's still got the cav going in. I mean, I did gain a cav advantage, but I lost it. Stupidly gave it up. Those units still have got enough men to form square, and they're going to take less fire while they're in them trees. He does manage to rout the Swiss foot, but I'd get my general in there and hit the rally, and they come back from routing straight away. So that's his Lancer unit there is going to be routing away, and my Polish routes that away. So I'm going to pull Swiss there, see they're routing, but they'll stop routing in a second because my general rallies them. So I'm going to pull that back and retreat them up to the top of the hill, and bring some other units over in to help support these guys getting out and getting away from his concentration of men on this side. So right, I'm going to pull those units in the trees, and another unit which I've come and brought over to support up to the top of the hill, so he's got them to concentrate on as well. He can't concentrate all his force. I didn't want to bunch all of them together because I didn't really feel confident that they would beat the units that he had there. So I'm pulling my light infantry out of my chasseurs out of the house there, because he was charging in that house and he would have beaten me and taken the house, and I would have lost his chasseur unit. So I pulled them out and just let him have the house. Got my one chasseur unit laying down some fire on there. Those units on the top of the hill will just do give him something to look at over on this side, so he can concentrate on his men. So I've got 2 chasseur units which come over, and a guard of seamen unit which is, I believe, is in the trees. So then the guard of seamen, they're a good unit. They're a very good unit. But I mean, I haven't really got much choice but to play defensively here. So So he's pulling the men out of the house now, so he's going to start, wanted to start line them up along the flank of my Garda seamen in the trees there, so I've had to turn and I'll turn them in a minute to face both a foot guard unit that he moves up and the musketeer unit. He's moved them 2 line infantry up, and they're firing on revolts there, so I'm going to move my 2 line infantry that I've got in the trees there. They're going to lay down a little bit of fire, and he pulls back. Right, I do spot this eventually that there's a light infantry unit. It's like out on its own, and I'm able to swing round behind my men on this side over here with my general and attack the light infantry unit. But I'll do that in a minute. So I'll push them men on the hill up and down, so to keep him busy and keep them men make it so they can't get involved with the fight that's going on over here. As I run past with my general in a minute, I'll give them all an inspire. Tried angling it so that I could pull his general onto the stakes that are in the corner, those trees there, but he just manages to miss them and gets in and attacks my Voltigeurs unit. Right, so there's my general. I'm going to swing that down now and hit the rally, give them a bit of extra morale boost as I run past. There it goes, and we're going to attack that light infantry unit up there, stuck on its own, and I've routed the musketeer unit. Right, so you push out an attack on the 2 line infantry there, and I've got another line infantry unit which I'm using to chase down and run after a Prussian Fusilier unit on the right hand side. It's just off the screen at the moment, you can't see it. So my general's attacking them light infantry now. He's chasing after my 2 chasseur units over in the background there. He's got a general in my line because I was beating his line infantry with mine, so he's whacked his general in so they can get some shots down on my men, so it kind of evened up the odds a bit there. And he's going to go and have a go at attacking my general as well. And again, while he's attacking my general, I pulled my general out and tried to pull him towards his general, towards them stakes on the corner of the forest. You'll see in a minute. I think he manages to rout one of my chasseur units, but it does come back eventually. Pulled my line infantry out of there as well. So that's where I pull my general out, trying to pull him onto the stakes, but he sees what I was trying to do and stops his general. Pulled my line infantry back into the wooded area, give them a chance to regroup and reload and stuff. Right, and the problem that I had at this stage was those units on top of the hill I needed them to get them down off of that hill, because at the moment he's able to throw all his force down now and concentrate on my units which are on this end of the field, and he's sort of like trying to hold me off from being able to link up my those units up on the hill there with the rest of my army. So I'm trying to get them run down and link up with the rest of my army. It's a very good player, washoleon. Very good player indeed. We got a we will be playing a 3rd match at some point. So at the moment it stands at 1-1, so we're gonna have a decider, and I'll probably end up posting that. I mean, he's got his foot guards there as well, his guard units, and mine. When I haven't got guard units now, because even my Garda seamen now, they've gone. So I've just got I've got Polish and Swiss foot. So I mean, and his guard units are better than mine. So I'm trying to, as I'm saying, like play defensively. I mean, I think it's all Swiss, all guard units that he's got left now, with a couple of light infantry units. He's lost his general, so throw my general into that Prussian Fusilier unit in a minute to finish them off. I believe that light infantry unit's run out of bullets. Right, so he's routing with his foot guards there. Right, my chasseur unit. I mean, he manages to get a chain route on those 3 units that I've managed to get down, but I think 2 of them come back after shitting their pants. They're going to rout in a second, that Swiss foot, but they do come back. One of the other 2 units does come back, and that unit does rout and come back as well. So, so I'm trying to lay down some fire on these guys while they got the fire going on and firing on my Swiss foot up there. And swing them men round. Going to get my general in to attack that Prussian Fusilier unit now as well, and attack and get that Prussian Fusilier routed now. So all the units on that side are routing at the moment, so he turns to face my other 3 units. But I want to hold them long enough and get some fire going on. Charge one of my Swiss foot into his foot guards there. Stop them firing at me. Keep them mixed up. Right, so there's one of them coming back, so I'm going to line it up again where it was. It's on top of the hill, get some fire into the woods. I mean, as you can probably tell, I've got the match at this point. I would have liked to gone into an attacking front, more attacking play in this battle, but when I lost over on the right hand side with my old guard and stuff, once I lost that I didn't really have much choice but to go for a defensive strategy. So, but he done very well, very good game, and it was very hard, a lot of fun. They're going in for the final melee, so more like a glory charge, and those foot guards are pretty bloody mean in melee as well. I missed one of my chasseur units come back from routing as well, so charging that in for melee. They're going to rout soon though, these foot guards. That's one of them's gone, and the other one's going to go any time now. So good game, washoleon. Excellent playing you, mate. Can't wait to play the 3rd game. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and thank you for watching everyone, and I'll see you again soon.